Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Hope Beyond Brokenness. I trust you are all well. Long time. How are you? How is everything? How are you doing? How is life? I trust that you're coping on well. I know a lot is happening, a lot has happened, but hang in there. So today I'm just here to talk about suicide. How to prevent suicide. September, particularly 10th September, is usually the world's suicide prevention day, but we say that the whole of this month we just give awareness concerning suicide, how to prevent suicide, how do you not things that maybe someone close to you is doing, or even your thoughts. Sometimes you can tell by how you start to think and how you start to think about life. If you feel like you're giving up, if you feel like you no longer belong here, it's better you're out of here, then these are some of the things that you should look out for, and just know that when you get to this point you should get help. So I'm just here to just briefly talk about two things. One, what causes people to attempt suicide or even to want to die by suicide, and the other thing is, how do you prevent these things from happening? It's one thing to want to have the thoughts, and it's also another thing to now actually following through with the thoughts, but they're usually the same. As you think, you become. If you keep thinking about death, if you keep thinking about how you are not so important in this life and all these things, eventually it will become your reality. So it starts with the thoughts. People who die by suicide did not just wake up and say, okay, today I'm out of this world. No, it's something that has been on their mind for some time. It may be weeks, it may be months, it may be days, or even it may be years. So what are some of the ways that you can notice among your friends, among your family members, that you are likely to note that this one needs help? Or what are some of these thoughts that now you start to think, and you realize that you need immediate action? So let me just go straight to the point. What causes suicide rates? One, stigmatization of mental health. Suicide, people who die by suicide mostly have had some mental problems, but because there's that stigma, when you come out and say and acknowledge that I'm struggling, people will judge you, people will start to avoid you, people will start to view you in a way that they no longer trust you to be, maybe to hold position. They think that you're mad, and it's a lot. So there's that stigmatization of mental health. So just when someone is going through depression, they're not ready to open up because they're told you have to be strong. This world is not for the weak. You have to be strong, especially for men. So you see, when they start having now these thoughts, because suicide, it comes from a place of hopelessness, like complete hopelessness. And mostly when you start to be depressed, because depression is simply it's characterized by different things, including loss of interest in the things you used to enjoy doing. You start to want to be alone most of the time. You start to withdraw from your surrounding and from people who you love, or people who love you. You start avoiding people. You can't even wake up from bed. You feel so heavy in your heart. You keep crying. And your heart is so heavy. Your thoughts are so negative. There's nothing. You feel like there is no need for you to be in this world. Most times, depression leads to suicide thoughts, and suicide thoughts now lead to actually going ahead and just following through with the thoughts. So we should stop stigmatizing mental health. Actually, there's an ongoing debate, like to decriminalize suicide. As we all know that suicide in Kenya is illegal. So there's that debate that at least by 2030 we should be able to, and we should not rate suicide as a crime, because people who die by suicide is not that they want to. You and I know that it's not easy to just wake up and want to even kill yourself. Sometimes when I think about it, I have some I get some chills. How much more now wanting to go ahead and now take my own life? It means that there's a problem. So that decriminalization will make people more open to to be confident to say that, well, I've been having these thoughts, then now they will get help. But once it's because it's a crime, we can't even know like how many people commit suicide anymore, because people are not like willing to come out. People are not willing to be open to get help, because it's a crime, because they'll get stigmatized. So that is number one major cause of suicide rates in Kenya, that there is stigma of mental health. Like mental health has been, many people have different views about mental health. Other people say that it's demonic. The culture will tell you it's you're an outcast. It's a lot. So it's important for all of us to at least have an idea about mental health. Mental health is simply, it's not far from like physical health. Just like someone is sick, someone maybe has an issue, maybe is HIV positive or has cancer or has malaria. It's the same way. Mental health is just the disease of the mind, to just simplify it. And they don't have control. No one has control. It's not like something you can just say that I'm not going to have mental health. It's just that many people have not recognized that actually they have had mental issues. It's not like as we think mental health is simply madness. It's things like anxiety, things like panic attacks, things like depression. So there's usually a thin line between sanity and insanity. So when you're out there, try to be kind, and just try to have information. Don't be ignorant. Don't stigmatize people who have mental health, because it's not their fault. What else causes suicide? I would say trauma, different traumas, childhood traumas. This person has been abused physically, emotionally, sexually. So when they grow up, they just know, they're just convinced that they're not worthy to be alive, because they've been raped by their uncles, raped by their cousins, raped by their fathers. So they have this traumatic events that keep reoccurring into their minds. They keep remembering what they went through. So if they don't get help, again, you see, when there's stigma, they're not even able to open up. When they just go and say, I was raped by my father already. Why are you raped by your father? You're the one who presented yourself. Maybe you're the one who seduced him, you see. So there's a lot of things. Trauma is another cause of mental health. Is another cause of suicide rates in Kenya. I tell you, childhood trauma, post-traumatic stress disorders. Maybe someone was in war and they did not see a counselor. Maybe they saw their own friend dying, you see. So trauma is another reason that why many people die by suicide. I would say financial constraints. There's high cost of living right now, unemployment, overtaxation. Like, you are in university, or you're almost graduating, or you have graduated, and now you're like, what is my life? What about my life? What do I have to offer? You have people at home you have to take care of. They did their best to take you to school with hopes that you will give something back. But because you do not want to disappoint them, you try to do your best, but then your best is not enough. Sometimes it's not enough in this world. So there's that financial constraint that will lead many, especially the youth and many young people. They look at their lives, or rather we look at our lives, and we see what do we have next? What next? What next after university? We're in school, but you still hear there's a lot of unemployment. There are people maybe who have even performed better than you. They have first class. Meanwhile, you have a pass. You have a second class lower, second class upper. It's like, what is my fate? Will I really succeed? So that's another way. Financial constraint, unemployment, overtaxation. You hear the oil have gone, so the oil prices imeenda uko juu. Meanwhile, you don't even have an income. So even to sit and complain, you have nothing. So financial constraint is another reason why most youth, most people end up dying by suicide. What else I would say? And I mean, lack of skills to deal with issues of life. You know, as we continue in life, there are many stressors, you know. And as young people, as youth, many of us, we have not built resilience. We have not built patience. We have not built endurance in us. So some of us, we want things like that. So when you don't get it, it destroys us. You know, we have not come to the reality that life does not go as we plan. We adapt. So that there's no skill. When we are in school, we are taught how to, you know, we are taught we have to be intelligent, you know. I mean, in school, you have to be physically strong, but no one tells us there's something called emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. You have to build your emotional capacity to sustain, to be, I mean, to be able to survive in this world. Just like a coconut tree cannot survive in Meru or in Kisii. It's also the same with us. We cannot survive everywhere, really. We just have to adapt. Okay, that analogy, maybe not that practical, but in short, we just have to adapt. We have to adapt to life's stressors, because as of now, the oil have gone up. So even though maybe the government changes, maybe we say the issue is the government. When it changes, it doesn't mean that 5 years from now, still the fuel prices will be where it is right now. Maybe it will be high. So you see, it's not that life is getting any easier. We get stronger. We get stronger. We learn how to maneuver through this life's difficulty. So these are some of the ways, like traumas, stigmatization, constraints, family issues, unresolved family conflicts. You know, lack of even finances that like to even afford a therapist. As much as we say, okay, see a therapist, but can we really afford a therapist, a good therapist? Well, I know Madare, they offer, I think 500 bob per session. I don't have to go. I don't think, depending on your issues, not like every time. So you can get help, but some don't even afford that 500. They debate, will I go and buy food, or will I go for counseling? You see, so these things are all connected. So now, how do we prevent suicide? What are some of the ways that when you start to have the thoughts, you know, how do you get help? What do you do? You know, what are some of the preventive measures? I would say number one, check on your loved ones. Some people are very good at hiding it. Even they will even post memes. You'll be laughing and thinking, "Hey, this person is the happiest." They'll be posting encouraging messages, you know, and all these things, and you'll think, this person is okay. But please check on your loved one. Even the strongest person needs someone to check on them. I tell you, everyone in this life, the Bible says that it's not good for man to be alone. It's not just in the context of as in have a husband, have a wife or a husband. Even in life, it is not good for a man to be alone. So either you're strong, you're not strong, we all need someone. So check on your loved ones. Just be very cautious, and know that someone may appear to be very strong. There's a quote that says, just because I carry it well does not mean that it's not heavy. So everyone needs someone. So check on your loved ones. Of course, seek counseling, seek therapy, you know. For a psychologist, for us, we mainly offer talk therapy. If it is too bad now, you can now even see a psychiatrist. Depending on your issue, the psychologist is able to tell you, well, this is how far I can go. I think for you to even come to me as a talk therapist, you need to first deal with it, because it's in the mind, you know. Most of those people who die by suicide, it's like the happy hormones have been so suppressed. So you need medication. First before we even talk. Sometimes you even need medication. That is if it has gone to the extremes. So get help. Get the necessary medical help. See a psychiatrist, see a psychologist. You don't have to be mad to see a psychiatrist. A simple thing like depression, if it's too bad, see a psychiatrist. If you are able to see a psychiatrist, if you are able to see a counselor, go. I'm sure there are ways you can be led. Like I did my internship at Madare, so I know that you can get help. Don't say I don't have money. You just go and just present. There are social workers there. Just go and present your issue. do not stay with it. Okay, and talk it out with your peers. Don't be alone. Learn to have a group of friends who you can keep encouraging each other. Maybe you're in the same age group, so you say, oh well, we don't have a job right now, but we have faith that you're going to get a job. Maybe I don't have maybe a formal employment, but what can I do? What skill can I build? What skill can I build so that in future I'm able to apply the skills to the field or whatever thing that I need to do. Like when you have good peers and peers who can help you, like you have to make each other think outside the box, other than just, we're not getting employment, so what next? So talk to your peers, talk it out. Talk out. Maybe you have a family issue and you think that you're the only one who has a family issue. Of course we are very different, and of course maybe yours is greater. We can, as for family, my family may not, for you it may seem very small, but for me it's heavy. For you, I may look like it's too big, but maybe for you it's not that big. So you can never know. But just talking it out. There's healing in speaking out. I tell you, there's always healing in speaking out. When you talk it out, it's not that you want a solution, but that encouragement that you are not alone in this world. You're not the only one suffering. You're not carrying it alone. We are all dealing with one thing or the other. So talk it out. The other one, be a safe space to someone. At least when someone has decided to come to open up to you, please honor their trust. Not break it. Just be a safe person, so that when to avoid mistrust, to avoid this person never ever trusting any other person. Because what we do as friends, someone comes and tells you something, you tell it to another person, then of course they will hear it. And how do you expect for them to trust another person if you are the only person they trusted? Because there are people who do not trust people that easily, and when they do, they expect you to honor it. So be a safe person. Be a safe person. Be a safe person. Always be a safe person to someone. When someone has decided to come to you, please let it be safe. If you cannot keep it, just tell them, please, I cannot keep it, so do not trust me. Other than just having it and then spreading it, it's very wrong. Then of course, journal. If you cannot talk, journal, write. I like writing. Sometimes I may not I don't pray maybe verbally. I write as I pray. Like something is heavy, so I'm like, God, this thing is not good. I feel bad. Like I'm talking to my maker, but I'm writing, crying. But there's that healing that comes when you release something from your heart and keeping it in you. So journal. Learn to journal. When you journal, it helps you reason. When you start to think, there are things that are not even, but when you write it down, you realize, oh, by the way, whatever I'm thinking is not even true on paper. It's just my thoughts. So if you can journal nature, be out there, go to the forest, learn to there's a way that nature, I don't know, it frees you. Go out, experience the beauty of this creation. Go to the park. You can even go to Uhuru Park. You see that fountain? You may trivialize it, but there's that freedom. And when you go out, you realize that, well, I thought I have an issue, but people have problems. I tell you. So go out in nature, practice self-care and self-love. If you can go do your mani pedicure, if you can go do your makeup, or even if you enjoy doing makeup, do makeup. If you enjoy eating, go out and just have some hot steaming ugali and fish, chicken curry or fish curry. So practice self-care, practice self-love. You see, practice self-care, practice self-love. Lastly, take a day at a time. We will never have it all figured out in one day. Every time, today I was just online and I saw there was I don't know, is it NYS recruitment? There are over 1 million people, youth there. And I felt some fear in me. I was like, wow, all these people are looking for a job. Mercy. How many of us apply for jobs every time? It can give you that fear, wow, what is my fate then? So you can't really know and you can't really compare. Just take a day at a time. We have to learn to take a day at a time. We have to learn to just trust that God is going to do. You can only do so much. And even your certificates, your papers may not take you as far. There's something called favor. I tell you, there's something that's called favor. You just need someone to mention your name in a place, and that's it. Says your gift will make room for you in the presence of kings. Your gift. You see, it's not your papers. Well, going to school, having a degree, having a master, it's very nice. It's okay, but that's not the only thing. Not the only thing that will guarantee you good life. There's so much that will have. Many things have to work together for good. So just take a day at a time. I know it's not easy. That's why always have a friend. Always have people around that you can always encourage yourself. Like I have good friends that we always talk. We converse and we just encourage ourselves. Like, well, it gets better. But staying with something, you will easily it will easily be a burden to you, and you cannot carry it. So eventually you say, well, I'm not needed. Know that you're loved. Know that you're cared for. Know that God loves you so much. Know that even though you think that there's no one who cares, there's someone, just someone. So I'm saying, find someone. Don't be ignorant. Don't be arrogant and say, I don't need a friend. We all need people. I tell you, we all need people in one way or the other. We are never self-sufficient. We need someone. So if you're dealing with any of these suicidal thoughts, if your family member or someone you know has these suicide thoughts, or if you're also dealing with suicide thoughts, please get help. My number, I'll give you my business number. You can reach out to me if you know someone who needs help. Just reach out to me. We'll talk. So my number is 0745159523. 0745159523. 0745159523. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for always being here.